Is feminism really just for girls? From a young age, I really liked dance, but a lot of people used to say, that's a girl's thing. They always used to tell me you should play football and do more guy things, but I never really understood that. I feel like feminism's a bit like that, where people feel it's just a girl's thing. So, is it really possible for a guy to be a feminist too?
Hi, I'm George Thorogood, and I'm here today in Glasgow. But I'm not here today to do some shopping or sightseeing. I'm here today to see what people think of the word feminism.
I don't know, man, just mad birds, to be honest, man. But no, not in a cheeky way, you know what I mean? But obviously when you get to that, mad, obviously it's mad dodgy feminism, man. It's quite a big subject, no?
I think of lesbians.
Suffragettes, women's rights, women throwing themselves under buses for what they believe in. Sorry, not buses, horse and carriages.
Like ladies for ladies, I think.
Yeah.
Girls for girls, girls.
Like, not so much laws, but like rules for women.
Feminist.
What is a feminist?
What is a feminist?
People who think that both genders can do the same role.
I'm a humanist, not a feminist.
Yes, I'd say I'm very feminist. Would you?
No.
No, you're not a feminist.
Oh.
I don't really. I don't think there should be a need. No. I think we should all be treated the same.
Yeah, I would agree with it. Like, I see that everyone's equal in their own way, so definitely.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think they could be. Like, I think I'm one. I might only be 17, but I think anybody can. My granddad, he's 64 and he's quite strong for women's rights as well, so completely understand it.
Well, why shouldn't you be proud in your own gender? Why not? Yeah.
I couldn't respect a man that was a feminist rather than like looking for equality. I think feminism's tipped the scale far too far, and I think that what everybody needs to do, male and female, is to be humanist rather than feminist, sexist, misogynist, any of these ists. I think we need to get rid of all of them and just be for equality in all humans without bringing gender or anything else into it.
So, what is feminism? Is it a label? Is it a way of thinking? Or is it a war against men? To simply put it, feminism is the belief that all sexes should have social, political and economic equality. To understand feminism, we have to take it right back to where feminism is said to have begun. The suffragettes were a group of women who protested the right to vote, and most importantly, the equality for all sexes. Today, the word feminism is easily recognisable. So, why is it only 7% of people in Britain call themselves feminist? I took to Stamp to see what feminism really is.
Why do you think so many people think feminism is just for women?
I think people think that feminism is just for women because it's traditionally about women's oppression, and so it's directly questioning and challenging issues that affect women maybe more than they affect men, and so as a result they think that only women should be involved in the movement. But I don't think that that's true, because I think that actually there's lots of things about patriarchy that's really harmful to people of all genders, and that feminism is trying to eradicate that and give us more kind of freedom to identify how we want or express ourselves how we want, and without being confined to these gender roles. And I also think that it's all of our responsibility to challenge things that don't necessarily directly affect us as well.
Why do you think so many people are opposed to feminism then?
I think that people are opposed to feminism for lots of reasons. I think historically people have been very resistant to feminism because there's kind of ideas about women's roles and men's roles, and feminism challenges that. And I think that people also think that feminism means that women want to be better than men. They want to have more power than men, when that goes against the whole nature of what feminism is. It's about gender equality, about having equality for all genders, and it's about intersectionality as well. So recognising privilege, and I think that sometimes recognising your own privilege is a really difficult thing to do. And I think as a result, people don't want to do that. People don't want to kind of think about that and think about all the things that they've had that they maybe need to be more aware of, or the things they say that are maybe a bit problematic, or the things that they kind of take for granted as well. And I also think the media has created an idea of what feminism is, that, you know, all people that are involved in feminism are aggressive and angry and unapproachable, and you can't have an argument with them, or you can't have a discussion with them rather, when in actual fact I think that for the most part feminists want to do something good. And I think that, you know, feminism shouldn't be hostile, and people should be allowed to make mistakes. It should be a process, it should be welcoming, it should be an educational space for people as well. But I think that it's not really perceived as that.
The last question is, do you think men can be feminists too?
Yes, I think that men can and should be involved in feminism and engaged in the movement. I think that there needs to be, because we're talking about an oppression that directly affects women, and we spoke a wee bit about privilege and stuff, there needs to be kind of taking the lead from those that are experiencing that the most. But I don't think that that means that men can't be engaged in feminism. I think that men should be, and I think that it would make it a more robust movement as well. The more people that we have on board, the more people that we have working towards that gender equality, the more successful we're going to be.
So where do all these gender stereotypes come from? They are taught from a young age, from the TV shows we watch to the toys we play with. We are taught being masculine is about being really strong, both mentally and physically. Being feminine is about being really soft, nurturing and emotional. But why can't men show this feminine side? Often because men are told to man up, grow a pair of balls, stop acting like a girl. This is a problem because a lot of men bottle up their emotions. In fact, 3/4 of people who commit suicide are men. I took to White Ribbon to try and find out why these stereotypes are harmful to both men and women.
So tell us a bit about who you are and what White Ribbon is.
My name is David Thompson, and I'm the interim coordinator for White Ribbon. So the full title is the White Ribbon Campaign Scotland, and the purpose of the campaign, the reason for the existence of the charity, is to try and involve more men in issues about violence against women. For men to find out what they can do to help, bring an end to violence against women, and to understand it better.
So what problems do you see related to gender?
The main problem stems from the fact that people want to impose a specific set of rules to gender. If we ask people in a group to give us examples of the attributes that make a perfect male or a perfect female, they'll come out with quite stereotypical answers on the whole. There'll be certain elements of it that maybe are more forward thinking, and that's great if that's what comes out, but quite often it's quite a typical list that they'll give for those attributes. So if you're buying into that's what you have to be, and when you're thinking it, that's quite controlling for the guy, despite the fact if you look at the list you think, well, these are quite good things. You get to be strong and powerful and can control, and you have good jobs and all this sort of stuff, and earn more and blah blah blah, and that sounds fantastic. But at the same time, what it's doing is putting a set of rules on guys as they grow up that says this is how you must be and this is how you must behave, and this is what you need to aspire to. And it's back to that idea that what happens then when you don't fit that? What happens when you don't get to maintain it if you did have that set of rules and you manage to fit it? What happens when it starts to go away from you? What happens if you lose your job and you're not the breadwinner in the family anymore and you feel as if you're not who you should be? That starts to affect people and how they behave.
My last question is, do you think men really want equality?
I think some men strive for gender equality. I think we need to change the attitudes of a lot of other men so that they're on board with it. And as I say, it's like I said before about the idea that we're not splitting up a pie here. You've got to stop guys thinking that if women get more equality or get full equality that somehow they'll lose something. There's so much to gain for men as well as women from getting equality. When you're thinking that there's all sorts of levels of pressure and such like, and that They call it the man box, this idea that there's a list of things that you have to do to become a man. If you take that away and take away that pressure, then there's a whole different life opens up for you as you develop as a person. So there's a lot for men to gain from there being true gender equality.
So, what do I think? Can a guy be a feminist? Well, of course. I think it's important to support other social movements even if they don't directly apply to you. I think a lot of men worry about their masculinity and think that calling themselves a feminist would just be them giving up their manhood. You don't have to wear high heels and paint your nails just to become a feminist. You can do it any way that you want. It's time for men to be feminists too. It's time to man up.